Not long from now, WCIA3 is celebrating its 60th anniversary. You have an opportunity to win a $5,000 travel voucher courtesy of Holiday Vacations, and you're going to get to travel with our own Judy Fraser. Judy's here now to tell us about her most recent trip to Ireland.
Oh, wow.
And you're wearing your green.
Wearing a little of the green, my shamrock, which of course is the treasured symbol in Ireland. And these trips are so wonderful because made more special by the people who go with us.
Sure. And how many people went, and when was this?
This was the end of July we went, I think, and there were 40 of us from central Illinois. And the oldest was almost 90, and the youngest was 20. So you have a wide range of people.
Wow.
And we have a picture of the group, and there we are. This is our journey, the people who journeyed to Ireland with Lou and I, and we had just a spectacular time, super duper time, according to our little Irish guide. He had all these wonderful expressions. But somebody told me to make sure I stayed awake and get the first picture as you cross the border into Ireland, and indeed I was. And you can, there it is, that's the first, you can see the plane, and you can definitely immediately see that patchwork quilt of colors, which is just beautiful in Ireland. Of course, we flew into Dublin, and then we got on this huge red bus, and I emphasize the huge.
And why? It looks like a a regular bus.
It's a big bus, like our buses here. But if you'll notice, the roads in Ireland are very, very narrow, and they drive on the left side of the road. So if you're sitting by the window, there were many moments that I'm thinking, we're going to crash into that car.
Yeah, and that is a hairpin turn.
That is a hairpin turn. And of course, when you're in a bus and you're making these hairpin turns, there's like 2 inches between us, and I think we have a picture of it.
Yeah, there it is.
It's unbelievable. Well, there we go. You can definitely see how close you get on that. But it's kind of scary. But I wouldn't want to drive in Ireland, do the driving myself, because it's too scary. But they're so great about it, about driving it. But Ireland, you know, everybody tells you it's green and lush, and indeed it
looks it in those pictures.
It's so beautiful. But it's a very small country. It's half the size of Arkansas. And you can drive across the entire country in less than 2 hours. But the 30 shades of green are definitely seen through all of the places we were in Ireland. And what I loved about it were the hedgerows that separated the different boundaries, the farmlands. Here we have barbed wire fences, you know, to keep the cattle in. And there they have these rocks, which they do by hand. They just place them one on top of each other.
Done over long periods of time, I'm sure.
My God. And there's no sealants or anything. They just stay that way. And some of them, you know, grow wildflowers in between. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Everywhere you look, it was just so scenic.
And there's that green. That picture is a really great example of just how lush
green
that is.
It is.
Yeah. And you went in the summer. I imagine it's even more so right that time of year.
It really is. But you know, it's interesting. Eastern Ireland is very lush and green, and a lot of farmlands, and they have agriculture like we do. Sheep is big in Ireland, along with cattle and so forth. But Western Ireland looks like a lunar landscape. It's very rocky, and of course you can't grow anything there, so it's primarily cattle, sheep that wander the countryside, and these are the Connemara ponies that just wander through the countryside.
So they're wild.
They're wild. They're out there, and they kind of stopped in the road and looked at us as we're looking at them.
It's a little OK Corral scene.
Yeah, it really was cool. And then 17.5%, I think, of Ireland is covered with peat bog, which farmers carve out of the ground. It's a thick, it's almost like mud, but you can see he's got it in his hand. And this is what they use to heat their homes. And they put it in their fireplace, and they cook with it and so forth for heat. And it smells like ham roasting, which is pleasant, you know, if at Easter time or something, at ham. But when you are in it for a length of time, it overwhelms you. I had to go out. I was
I imagine kind of acidic and
yeah. So I don't know, boy, that would be tough to have to live with all the time.
But they're using that kind of natural resource that they have right there in the country.
Right, absolutely.
That's interesting.
But you know, it would take me an hour to talk about all the places we went. So I'm just going to hit on a few of the highlights. And of course, the ruins are big in Ireland, and this was a place called Clonmacnoise, and it's an ancient monastic site built around 540 1968.
Whoa.
It's amazing to me that these things still exist. And it's located right on the banks of the Shannon, and you can see a lot of Celtic crosses, which was really big because the Celts originally established Ireland, and it's still the Celtic culture still exists there for a long time, and they're very superstitious, the Irish, as anyone who's Irish knows. And this is a Celtic cross that is supposedly, if you're able to get your arms around, intertwine your hands, it cures back pain. And Lou, my husband, has major back pain.
And any luck?
And no.
Okay, but you said he couldn't quite fit around it.
He couldn't quite get his fingers intertwined, so maybe that was, you know, part of the problem.
Well,
so.
this is really amazing. Are you going to stick around and show us some more?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to continue our journey to Ireland with Judy coming up, and we're going to tour some of the castles.
Okay,
right?
castles coming up.
Sounds good. All right, stick with us here on ciLiving.